lot of hatred towards herself for what happened and a lot of weight on her shoulders.
We aren't defined by our worst mistakes, and I think to reiterate that helps me become a better version of myself.
I just will never watch a movie the same way again, that's for sure.
Colleen, I want to start with you. Like, what did you see as the most crucial, critical thing that the film needed to get right to faithfully adapt your book to the screen?
For me, it was definitely the emotions that Kenna and Ledger's characters bring in the book. I think that when you're adapting a romance novel, it can be easy to kind of cross over into the melodrama a little too much. And I think they did such a good job of restraint and making each scene mean something without it being over the top. And I think a lot of the credit goes also to our director, Ness. She was they're just so great.
Maika, I'm still traumatized by long legs. So seeing you is a bit triggering.
I'm so sorry. Understandable. I do get it.
And so what appealed to you the most about this project and playing Kenna?
Well, I read the script, and then I met the director, Vanessa, and Vanessa's a very special human. Just our conversations that we had, not only about the movie, but about life, and we, had some similarities in different, traumas that we had, and we just got like really deep, and I felt like I was in such good hands. So that was kind of my intro, and then I knew that Colleen was going to be very much involved. She wrote the script, she was going to be a producer on set every day, and then I was like, oh, okay, I think this might be something special.
Trauma bonding with the director never hurts.
Yes, it doesn't.
and Tyriq, for you, like in him, you were a quarterback. Now, like I think, like are you a linebacker, a former Broncos linebacker? I was trying to see what your position was in this film. What Ledger's got such an interesting arc in this film. Like, what appealed to you the most about this role?
Yeah, I think Ledger is the beacon of hope and forgiveness for Kenna, and I think to step in that and to amplify a story that's so rooted in motherhood, I was frothing at the mouth to be able to bring this story to life, and I think walk with my own grief and vulnerability and healing and understanding that we're all grieving the same person in this story, just it has different textures. And yeah, I think we aren't defined by our worst mistakes, and I think to reiterate that helps me become a better version of myself in the real world. So I'm interested in things that just make me a better Tyriq. So.
And Colleen, like when anyone reads a book, you have this idea of what the characters look like and sound like in your head. You wrote these characters as well as the screenplay. So tell me how the two sitting next to you compare to how you can originally conceive them.
Well, luckily, I don't do that. I find it very hard actually to physically picture my characters when I write, to the point that my editors always send my manuscript back and they're like, can you describe these characters? Like, what do they look like? It's more of the emotions and their personality. And so it wasn't that difficult to me to see them in the roles, but I don't know. Like, I don't think I imagined that they would bring them to life as well as they did in the way that they did, and then also bring a lot of themselves into the role that, you don't get in the book. And so, yeah, I couldn't be happier with how their performances turned out.
Yeah, that's what I imagine, that, like the Tyriq and Maika, they like bring something new to these characters, right? Like
Right.
Bring them to life in a way that maybe you didn't really conceive, which I think is so special. And from your perspective, Maika, like Tyriq touched on, the trauma that these characters share. There's guilt attached to it as well in kind of the way that they interact and through their own actions in the past. I guess, what were you focused on when it came to bringing Kenna to life?
I think her biggest challenge in this movie, there's a lot, but I think it's learning to forgive herself. I think that there's a lot of hatred towards herself for what happened, and a lot of weight on her shoulders. So it's for her to like love herself again, which I think you start seeing sort of at the end of this film. Yeah, I don't know. I just connected with that on a very deep level.
Yeah. Tyriq, I'm so glad you brought up we judge people on the worst day of their lives, like I think that's a really key moment in the film. And I think it's something that happens in real life, to keep the football thing going, like CJ Stroud in that playoff game against the Patriots. Like he's a trash quarterback now, apparently. Why do you think we tend to do that?
I think it's stems with like in ourselves, and I think a lot of people who throw dirt on people, especially like the CJ Stroud of it all. I'm a Jaguars fan, so I go through a lot of this losing. That is, like people can tend to be deeply insecure, and I think how you treat people or the insults you throw, it stems from what's within. And I think we're all an accumulation of our past traumas, and I think I think that's why people do that. And I think my call to action is to lead with love and a little more kindness and a lot more consensual hugs, because that can go a long way. And knowing that these people are humans too, and CJ Stroud has to go home and put his head on a pillow at night. And I think we forget that, and we idolize these people and dehumanize them, but we have to stop doing that.
Yeah. It's exciting times ahead for Jaguars fans, though. Just as an aside,
Yeah.
but Colleen,
It is.
what did you learn from the process of adapting your last book that you applied to this film?
I this is actually the first one that I've been able to be involved in. So I've learned so much just from the producers on set, from Ness, the director, and I hope to carry that forward in other adaptations. But it was just really an honor to be able to be involved in every part of it, from the script writing to the casting to the editing, and now the PR. Like I never thought I would be able to be this heavily involved in an adaptation, and it's just been a joy, and also very eye-opening to how hard it is to work on a film, like the cast and crew. I just will never watch a movie the same way again, that's for sure.
Yeah, fantastic. Guys, we've run out of time. Congratulations again. This film is so much more than a story of romance. It's about, for me, like the relationships we have in our lives and how they shape us. And I think you all played such an important role in making that something that people will enjoy on the screen. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
Thank you for
Thank you
that.
so much.
And cut.